Hello and welcome back to AP Psychology. I am Miss Lee and we are still in Unit 2, but we're trucking right along. This video is on the endocrine system. Our learning target for today's video is to discuss the effect of the endocrine system on behavior. There's going to be a big key takeaway here. You're going to be making a connection between the endocrine system and all that we've been talking about up to this point, the nervous system, because there is a connection and I want you to be able to make that connection. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and grab your notes and let's get started. The endocrine system is the body's slower chemical communication. It's not electrochemical, it's just chemical. It's much slower than the nervous system, but it does work with the nervous system. It works by releasing hormones into the bloodstream. These hormones are received in very specific sites in your body. So here you have listed out on your screen the different glands that we're going to be talking about. This is what makes up your endocrine system, and we're going to go through each one of them. Under normal circumstances, its primary job is to work with our parasympathetic nervous system to sustain homeostasis. We've talked about that in the last two videos. So homeostasis is super important, our body's preferred state of being. It likes to just be in homeostasis, and this is where it normally functions. However, in a crisis, it works to support the sympathetic system and it helps it to respond to stressful situations. So the best way to think about this is using an example, like a scenario, all right? So I want you to consider you're in a gas station while it's being robbed. The criminal pulls a gun on you and the attendant. Imagine what you would feel like, what your body, how it would respond. First off, your endocrine system is going to release adrenaline. Remember the epinephrine that we were talking about into the bloodstream from the adrenal glands. They are going to sustain your body's defensive reaction, that fight or flight response. But the two systems work together. The endocrine system is going to finish what the nervous system starts. The whole reaction is going to be started by your nervous system. But your endocrine system is going to keep that system going to sustain your ability to respond to the stressful situation. It's going to keep your heart pounding. It's going to keep your muscles tense and ready for action to either fight the bad guy or the grizzly bear or get you out of that situation. And it starts with the pituitary gland. So the pituitary gland is also sometimes called the master gland. It is in charge of all of the other glands in the endocrine system. It regulates the activity. It tells the glands when to start releasing the hormone that it's responsible for, or hormones in some cases. The pituitary gland is under the control of the hypothalamus. We're going to talk more about the hypothalamus in our next videos when we get into the brain, but the pituitary gland is under the control of the hypothalamus, which is part of your brain, part of your central nervous system. The pituitary gland sends out hormone signals to other endocrine system glands. So it's going to send out the alert, so to speak. It is found deep, deep, deep inside your brain, right under the hypothalamus. So here's your hypothalamus, and here is your pituitary gland, all right? So it's right underneath it. It makes a lot of sense for it to be there since it is being controlled by the hypothalamus. That's your connection, guys. That's your connection between the nervous system and the endocrine system because they work together. All right, so continuing down the body, you've got the thyroid. To me, it looks like a butterfly or a bow tie, and it kind of makes sense for it to look like a bow tie. The bow tie is sometimes worn right here at the neck. It regulates metabolism, physical growth and development, and the calcium rate in your body. So if you've ever heard of a thyroid gland problem, hypo or hyperthyroidism, it's going to be indicated in problems with metabolizing food calories. So thyroid, metabolism, but also physical growth and development and calcium consumption. Your adrenal glands, these are glands that are going to send out adrenaline or epinephrine. It regulates the fight or flight response as well as metabolism. The adrenal glands, you've got two of them. They are found at the top of your kidneys. So if you look at the screen, they look like these little fleshy, little weird globs of gland, and they're just sitting right there on top of your kidneys. The pancreas is super important because it regulates the level of sugar or glucose in the blood. So if you've ever known someone who had diabetes, that is a problem with the regulation of sugar in your blood. The gonads regulate body development. These are found in the testes or the ovaries. They are collectively the gonads. They produce testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone, and both sets of gonads are going to produce all of those hormones just in different levels. They regulate the body development of secondary sex characteristics. So when you think about secondary sex characteristics, you're talking about how muscular someone is, breast development, Adam's apple, facial hair, and they're also going to maintain reproductive organs in adults. So those are the glands that are going to produce sperm and eggs. Again, your big connection that I want you to make is that the endocrine system and your nervous system work together. How do they work together? For example, how do the adrenal glands know when they are supposed to secrete epinephrine? Think about how all of that happens. It's almost, again, like kind of dominoes. One thing has to start the other, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. I want you to write that down in your notes, and we will talk about it in class. And that is it for the endocrine system. In our next video, we are going to dive into the brain. We will have 2 videos on the brain because otherwise it would be like a 65-minute video, and that's very long. Can't wait to see you then. Bye for now.